Good morning, y'all. Happy Love Day. So, deliveries are in full effect. We are doing deliveries now. I'm right now on Suitland Parkway. I'm headed to Bethesda first. Get them out the way, and then I'm going to work my way down. Make sure you guys are prepared. Be by your phone. I got y'all goodies with me. I'm so excited because I love Valentine's Day. I did want to wear a dress so I could look like Cupid dropping off goodies, but it's a little chilly out here, so I changed my mind. So yeah, y'all, happy Valentine's Day, and I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. Bye. Good morning. Happy Friday. You guys, I woke up not feeling too well today. Like, I've been having some excruciating stomach pains that's been like crippling me all day today, but I gotta push through. I have to bake, and I have some orders that's due. Happy Saturday. So do you guys remember when I said I had really bad stomach pains? They never went away. I thought maybe it could be gas or something like that, but it started getting even worse since yesterday. Like, I can't sleep and all of that. So I had surgery all over again, and I need to make sure that I'm all good. Like, the pain is like unbearable. So y'all, just keep me in y'all prayers. I love y'all. Bye. Hey y'all. Don't you know how people say I'm looking crazy? I'm not looking crazy. I'm just looking well rested. I'm about to eat some lunch, which is pretty much my leftover steak and potatoes. But are you guys proud of me? I've been posting up more videos for you guys to catch up on and to check out and, you know, to enjoy. As you can tell from the title, this is just a, not just a, but this is a health update video of how my life pretty much changed in just a few days. And, so as y'all can see, I posted clips of how everything led up to now. So, where do I start? Let's just start with the week. No, I want to start with a few days before Valentine's Day, because I felt like God was giving me hints before the week of Valentine's Day, but I didn't pay that no mind. So, a few weeks before Valentine's Day, a few days before Valentine's Day, or maybe a week before Valentine's Day, yeah, my mom said she was about to go and get her well woman exam or whatever. And I was like, you had a hysterectomy. Why are you going to get a well woman's exam? And as ignorant or crazy that may sound, that's just the truth of the matter. I'm like, why are you going to get an exam? What is there to examine? So, and if you don't know, I had a hysterectomy in 2022. And I had me an old messy, dirty hysterectomy. No, I had a hysterectomy that led to a bowel resection, and it was just a whole big shing-ding. So I was like, okay, you're going to get a hysterectomy. Do I need to be, you're going to get a well woman's exam. Do I need to schedule me one? And she was like, yeah, you need to be scheduling you an exam. So I was like, okay, I'm going to schedule one. And I never scheduled the exam. So, and that's just simply because I was just working, like many of us probably can relate. We just dive into work and neglect ourselves because we have this fear of, I can't be broke, and I have to grind, and I have to hustle. I never want to be broke again or whatever. So that to be honest, that was my mentality. So, this baked potato crunchy. So the week of Valentine's Day, of course, we was doing our thing. I was doing my surprise deliveries. I had got my hair done so I could look cute, doing my thing. So we went to Texas Roadhouse, and I was crushing their dinner rolls. Crushing. Had no business eating them dinner rolls like that. And my stomach was hurting, but it wasn't nothing. I just thought maybe I'm just full, I'm eating too much. So the next day, I think Valentine's Day was on a Wednesday. The next day, I noticed I was having a little bit of pain. And I'm like, okay, those dinner rolls ain't making it through my system. They cutting up down there. So I'm thinking just like gas pains or whatever. Nothing major. Okay. So Friday come. And I still had a lot of orders, even though Valentine's Day was over. I still had a lot of orders to fulfill. Friday come, y'all. And I feel like I can't describe the pain. I'm in excruciating pain. I barely can walk. Like any certain move will hurt the bottom of my stomach. And I'm like, maybe it's gas, nothing too serious. I still have orders to do. I just have to push through. And Charlie stayed home from school that day, and you know, I was like, oh, Charlie can help me bend over and stuff, and I'm just in excruciating pain. Like I never felt pain like this before, but I'm going to associate it with my meal I had. So in the midst of all this, my mom and my husband was like, oh, maybe you should go to the emergency room. And I'm like, no, it ain't that deep. And mind you, my brother's baby shower was going to be that Sunday. And I think part of me was also nervous about if I do go to the emergency room, what they would say, and I won't be able to attend my brother's baby shower. And I'm the dessert person for the baby shower. I got to pull through just like how I pulled through for all my other customers. Like, I should be fine. So I post on Instagram cracking a joke about how the Texas Roadhouse tore me up. Saturday come. I'm just like, I don't know. Saturday come, and I could tell my mom is getting like really concerned. My husband is getting really concerned, but I'm just trying to play it off like it's not that bad. I'm trying to come up the steps. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to bake, and I'm literally bent over. And I'm like, if this gas, then how can I get this to pass? So I'm on the bed on my knees with a pillow, hugging a pillow under me, like trying to get the gas to move. Nothing is helping. So my mom is like trying to give me all these remedies, like, hold on, y'all. My mom is trying to give me all these remedies, like, drink some Smooth Move or gas tea. And then we're starting to try to diagnose myself. Maybe it's a kidney stone. Maybe it's gas. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. So I said, you know what? As soon as my last customer come and pick up, I'm gonna go to the emergency room. So I go to the emergency room. And another thing is, I didn't want to go to another emergency room. The emergency rooms close to me, because I didn't feel like we had good hospitals near me, honestly. So my nearest hospital was Adventist, which was Fort Washington Hospital, or Southern Maryland. And I didn't want to go there, but at this point, it is what it is. I gotta go. So, and I think my mom had, at this point, my mom gave me regular Tylenol. And I'm like, this regular Tylenol not hurting. I mean, not helping. So, we get to the emergency room. Thank the Lord it wasn't crowded. So, once I get in the back, I get this doctor. And I think his name was Dr. Mark. Big, energetic, big personality. Like a fun doctor. Like, I was like, I hope I get him. And when he pulled back the curtain, he was like, so what brings you here, you know? So I was like, yeah, I'm having really bad stomach pains on my lower right abdomen. So he was like, it's your appendix. Let me lift your leg up. I'm gonna lift your leg up. Tell me if this hurts. So he lifted my leg up. I barely can lift my leg up. I'm like, yeah, it hurt. He said, I bet you it's your appendix. We run a little bit behind, but we're gonna get you to CT scan and just to make sure, but I can almost guarantee it's your appendix. So I'm like, Lord, if it's my, oh, and then he said, if it's your appendix, then we might have to perform surgery, we might not, but we won't know too much of anything until we get you to CT. So I'm texting my mom, and I'm like, Mom, he said he think it's my appendix. So my mom like, well, if he think it's your appendix or appendicitis, then they need to put a move on it because we don't want poison getting into your system. And so I'm like, oh Lord, I think I might get poisoning in my system. And so I'm just doing all this Googling about appendicitis. And if you having problems with your appendix, what are the symptoms, and everything just lined up with what I had going on. So I was like, it's my appendix. So they was like, surgery. So I was like, well, maybe if it come back that it's my appendix, I can check out today. If you give me some pain pills and maybe some antibiotics, I can check out today, do my brother's stuff, and check myself back in, and then do the surgery. So, and then at that point, they had already gave me morphine. So I was like, because with the morphine, I'm feeling, you know, okay. I'm feeling like I can weather the storm just for one night. So, CT scan guy finally comes to get me. And we go to CT, and he just joking with me, happy, very nice guy as well. And he was like, if it's your appendix, you're gonna be okay. They got so much new technology, so much medicine now, that if it's your appendix, then they could probably give you some medicine. And the way you look right now, you don't seem like you're that bad. So if it's your appendix, you'll be fine. So I said, well, do you know how to read the screen and read the images to see if it's my appendix? So he was like, yeah. So I was like, okay. So we the CT scan, and one thing about me is I'm considered a hard stick. So they had to put the line in my hand, and that was a fight. So when I did the CT scan, I had to hold my arm up on top of the CT scan thingy. And when he put the contrast in, oh y'all, it hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. I hate anything going in my hands or right here. Ugh, it hurt so bad. But anyways, so after he did the scan, he rolled me out to the office part. He was like, those are your images right there. And I could clearly see my appendix hanging, looking perfectly fine. But I didn't know what else I was looking at on the screen. So I was like, so is it my appendix? And like his whole demeanor kind of changed. He was like, the doctor will talk to you. And of course I know they can't tell me too much because they're not a doctor. But his energy was just like a little bit different, like more concerning. Like, we thought it was her appendix, but. So he wheeled me back to my room, and not too long went by, I hear the emergency room doctor that was working with me, like, giving everybody a discharge. Like, he discharged people left and right. People that came after me, like, everything's starting to move really fast. But it's still taking him a long time to come back, to come talk to me or whatnot. So, he finally comes. So I was like, at this point, I'm like, well, if he don't come and talk to me, I'm going to have to go out there and see what's going on because, yeah. So, he comes to me and when he pulled back the curtain, his demeanor was kind of different. He was still that happy, but he was like more jittery or whatever. So I had my purse on the bedside table, and he accidentally knocked my purse over on the floor like a nervous, not like this clumsy now. So he knocked my purse down on the floor. He was like, "I'm so sorry. My daughter would kill me if she knew I knocked your purse on the floor." And Coach Purse said that. So he gets down on one knee and he says, "You know, I tend to take a little longer when I have to deliver bad news." So I'm like, okay. But still, I'm thinking the bad news is I'm going to have to have surgery for this appendix. And I already had my plan in my head that give me some medication or whatever, some pain pills, check me out, and I'm going to check back in after the baby shower. So he gives me this paper and tells me to read it. And if I can find the paper, I'm going to clip it in here. And when I'm looking at it, I'm just like, okay, what does this mean? So at the bottom of the paper, it says suspicious something. So he says, when we see stuff like this, and it says suspicious, it didn't say mass, it didn't say tumor, it said something that started with a C. Like I said, I'll post a picture. It's usually an indicator of cancer, and we don't know for sure right now, but I don't want you to let the sun go down on this. I want you to contact your doctor immediately. Get whatever treatment started. And at this point when he's talking to me, I'm just like, huh? And everything is just like a blur in slow motion now. And I'm just like, what the hell you talking about? Like, not me. So I'm like, well, I had a hysterectomy. So he said, well, did they take out your ovaries? So I'm like, and that's another thing. You know, you gotta don't be ignorant about the procedures you have. Like, get everything in detail, ask the question. So I'm like, when he asked me about, did they take my ovaries? I'm like, I don't know. And he was like, well, they couldn't have because it looks like this suspicious mass is going over it's going on your right ovary, and I don't have all the answers. But what I can do is help you find the answers if you can't get help. But usually you can catch this stuff early, you can start treatment, and you'll be okay. But I want you to tackle this right now. And at this point, it's like almost close to midnight, I believe. Oh, I don't know, but it's late at night. And it was on a Saturday, so he was like, is your doctor's open tomorrow? So I was like, no. In my head, I'm like, why would you ask me that? So I was like, no. He was like, well, sometimes doctors open on the weekend. If not, I want you to see somebody immediately on Monday. So I'm like, okay. So I hit my doctor up at Georgetown Hospital, my gynecologist that performed both my myomectomies, that performed my hysterectomy, and that's been dealing with me with this, because I've been having period reproductive problems since the girl been starting her period, it feels like. But no, I say since about 18 years old, 17, 18, that's when I started experiencing like extreme issues. So I hit up my doctor and I sent him a screenshot of the paper. And I remember typing, Dr. Benson, I am so scared. Can you please help me? And when the emergency room doctor was talking to me, in front of his face, I know he probably be like, are you okay? Like, because I wasn't crying, But I had like a blank stare because I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, what are you saying to me? Like, I already had my plan in my head about how this was going to go. You did the leg test for the appendix. My leg couldn't go up. So what are you saying to me? So he gave me his card and he was like, I wish you best of luck and this is my information. So I said, okay. So before I can leave, they wanted the tech to come do my vitals again. So she took my vitals and my blood pressure was just out of this world. So high. Mind you, when I first came in there, my blood pressure was like 127, 132. My blood pressure at this point is like really high, like 189 or something like that. And so she was like, and at this point, I'm still not talking. I'm just giving her my arm, looking at my paper, trying to process everything. So she keep redoing my blood pressure. So she was like, well, why is your blood pressure this high? And if your blood pressure is this high, you know, we can't let you go until we try to get it down, blah, blah, blah. So I said, it's because of the news he just gave me. So she was like, well, what was your news? So I showed her the paper. And she was like, well, let me read the paper. So she reads the paper and she's like, you're going to be fine. Get on it right now. It's a high survival rate. Get on it right now. Get with your doctors. You're going to get through this. It's okay. So after she seen that, she didn't take my blood pressure again. And I text Harry and I was just like, I'm ready. But, you know, once you get discharged or whatever, you get your paperwork, you usually go into the waiting room or whatever. And I just couldn't move. And I have Harry's like location, so I'm just watching the map to see when he's like 2-3 minutes out, so I can know to come right outside, because I was literally stuck in the emergency room like, what? I was just fine. I had no symptoms. My stomach was just hurting after I ate too much. So what? And I just started crying and praying and crying and praying and crying and praying. And every time I would pull back the curtain, think I was about to walk out, I had to catch myself. And finally I left and Harry pulled up. And when he pulled up, he was on the phone and he was happy. And I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even mutter my lips to say anything. And the hospital is right beside a Safeway, the grocery store. And I was going to go in a Safeway to try to get the stuff, a little bit of stuff I need for my brother's baby shower. And I heard him say on the phone to his buddy, I'm with my wife right now, but I could meet you in a little bit or something like that. So he got off the phone and he looked at me. He says, everything okay? So I was like, no. So I wanted to give him the paper so he could read it, because once again, I still can't talk. I'm still just trying to process everything like, huh? But I knew this Harry we're talking about. Love him dearly, but he wasn't going to understand, just like I didn't understand. So I said, well, it's not my appendix. They think I might have cancer. They think they seen this tumor on my ovaries. And he said I need to go contact my doctor immediately and get this taken care of immediately. So Harry was like, what? So he starts crying. And I start crying. And literally we're sitting in a parking lot. So he's like, we don't have to go in the store. We don't have to go to the store. We don't have to buy anything for Marquise's baby shower. We could just go home and figure it out. But I just want to let you know, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And so I'm like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So he said, you want me to just go in there for you? No, I was like, let's just go home. And so then I said, you know what? No, let's just go in the store and it's going to help me ease my mind. He was like, you don't have to bait. You don't have to bait. I said, it's going to help me ease my mind. So then I could barely get out the car. And I'm like, the morphine has worn off. I can't get any more medicine because the pharmacy is closed and I can't even get out the car. So Hurry went in there. He grabbed a few things for Marquise's, a few things I needed for Marquise's baby shower. And I think he might have gotten me some snacks or something. Or something small for us to enjoy while we try to process everything. So every time we talk about it, I can really tell that Hurry didn't even want to say the word cancer. He didn't even want to, or I don't know if he was just trying to be strong for me or what, but he was just very like touchy on the way he would talk to me about it. So when I got home, Charlie was already asleep and my mom was asleep. So when I got home to tell my mom, I went in her room and I was like, Mom, they trying to say they think I got cancer. And so she hopped out the bed. She sat on the edge of the bed. She was like, no, what, huh? So I was like, and I'm crying, trying to keep it together. I was like, yeah, they found a mass or whatever, a suspicious mass on my right ovary. And he told me I need to contact my doctor. And so I'm crying like a big dog. Like I'm boo-hooing, and she comes over and she just hugs me. She just hugs me and she just started praying, a beautiful prayer over me, and it just felt like I was just melting in her arms. And she also said, you gonna get through this. So I went downstairs and her was like, you told your mom? I was like, yeah. So me being the person that I am, well, and let me rewind a little bit. The whole night I'm checking my portal to see if the doctor messaged me back, to see if you can possibly get me in on a Monday, or if there's any miracle that you can get me in on Sunday. Like can you just imagine your mind is just going 1,000 miles per minute, and in your head you thinking, by every second I'm waiting for a second opinion, there's something like cancer that could be spreading in my body. And that's all I kept thinking, like every second that I'm waiting for a response, there's a possibility that there is cancer spreading in my body. And I'm in so much pain, and I can't, regular Tylenol isn't cutting it, and I cannot get to a pharmacy until 11 or 12 p.m. Sunday, which is the following day. So I can't sleep. So me being the person I am, I don't want to let my brother down. Also baking this therapy for me. I get up to try to bake. Not only for my brother, but I also had another order to do. So the other order I had to do was so simple. I knocked that out in maybe an hour and a half. It was super simple. Harry said he'd deliver it for me. My brother was getting cake balls, like cake truffle balls, a cake, cupcakes. I think it was like 50 cupcakes, truffle balls, a cake, banana pudding truffle dish. And I already said, well, I'm just going to turn the cake into abundant cake because that's less work. And if I go, it'll be easy to travel with. So I come upstairs and my mom like, how you feeling? And I'm just like, I don't know how to answer that question. Like, I'm going to say I'm okay, but I'm still in pain, 1, and 2, my heart is broken. My heart is broken. So, my mom was like, well, you know, don't bake. We can figure it out for Monkey's baby shower. And Harry's saying the same thing. I'm like, no. Let me just do this. I have to do this. So we compromised. My mom said, I'm gonna call Monkey's, because I couldn't even talk to my brother because I was just so emotionally sad. I don't want to talk about it. That's how I felt like I don't want to talk about it. So I said, Mom, can you please call Marquise and let him know what's going on and see if we can get cupcakes from like Sam's Club or whatever. So my mom was like, well, I'll get the cupcakes from Sam's Club. And I said, well, I'm gonna do the abundant cake. It's easy. And I had already bought like all the stuff to put on a cake. And cupcakes is always a little bit more tedious than a cake or whatever, because it's the different flavors of decorating. So I said, I'm gonna make Mel, which is his wife, her personal banana pudding cupcakes, because that's all she asked for. So I made her personal banana pudding cupcakes. But my mom went out to Sam's Club to buy cupcakes for the guests. And I made a nice, pretty truffle dish of banana pudding. And I made a abundant cake. And I made the truffle balls. So I said I could do one or two things. I could either go and don't do any dessert, or I could do the dessert and don't go. So I said, you know what, I'm not gonna go because the way I feel right now, I'm not gonna be able to make it. People wanna ask me, well, why are you walking like that? Or what's going on? And I don't wanna talk about it. And my brother lives like an hour from, well, the event was gonna be like an hour from us, which means we wouldn't have to leave at 11 o'clock. I wouldn't have been able to get my medicine for the pain. So sitting there, I wouldn't have been able to enjoy myself. So I stayed home and just kept replaying the same thing in my mind over and over and over and over again. And just kept asking God, like, how? Why? Although it's not confirmed, but why do I feel like I'm at another square one with this whole reproductive system of mine? So I had checked my portal and I seen that at 3 a.m. my gynecologist had responded back. And he basically said, that's a pretty large mass. And is there a possibility that it could be cancer? Sure. But we don't have enough information to confirm. I don't think it is because of your age. But we don't have enough information to confirm. I want you to meet with Dr. Tunich, which is an amazing oncology doctor that specializes in large tumors and tumor removal. So I felt, for a second, I want to say I felt a little bit of, whew. So I sent it to my mom, and my mom, you know, was happy. So I reached out to Dr. Tunich at Georgetown Hospital, and she said that I could come in on that Thursday. So I'm like, thank you, God. I wish I could come in on Monday. And I started to go back and forth with her, like, I can't wait that long. So she said I could come in on that Thursday. So in between Sunday and Thursday, I'm talking to my mom, my aunt, and my grandma. We're just going back and forth. And my mom, I think my mom was more so trying to ease my mind, ease my nerves, and just kept saying, well, you know, maybe it's just a little polyp, or maybe it's just a little cyst. And I appreciate her so much. But in my head, I was thinking, I don't want no maybes. I need confirmations. And right now, my stomach is in constant knots. constant knots. And they had prescribed me some oxy, and I don't even like oxy. Like, I can't stand I. But hey, it is what it is. They prescribed me oxy and Tylenol 3s. So, that's. I think my mother also said that Saturday, this is gonna be our last day that we cry these tears. She said something along those lines. So on Monday, once I got my confirmation about my appointment, I said I'm not gonna cry no more. I'm just gonna thank God in advance for the healing that He's about to do. I'm gonna thank God in advance for this journey that He's put me on, and I'm gonna go from there. So I was starting to update people on my supporters and followers on Instagram about how I was doing, and I had some orders that week, and I had to cancel the orders, of course. And so I just kept updating them and staying in good spirits because I had Charlie, and Charlie had so many questions, and me and my husband, we're pretty like straightforward with Charlie, let her know, not in too detail like, oh, mommy, but mommy is down and stuff like that. So Instagram was a big outlet. And I told myself, God, I don't know why I'm in this situation, but I'll make the best of the situation. And right now I can't do any work because I'm on pain meds, and I'm on high pain meds, like oxy, that I can't do too much. And I'm in a lot of pain. But one thing I am going to do is continue to show up for my family and enjoy my family and be with my family, because so many scenarios was playing in my head. And I just kept saying, I can't leave my baby. I can't leave my baby girl. So on Thursday came, and y'all, I was so freaking excited for Thursday to come. Like, I'm going to the doctors. I'm going to the doctors. I'm going to the doctors. Like, I was so excited to go to the doctors. Like, it was like Christmas morning to me, because I'm already anticipating the good news. So, we get to the doctors. I meet Dr. Tunich. Rewind. Me and my mama already did research. I had to see who was about to be laying hands on me and working with me. I already did my research to see her mindset, to see where she was at with it all. So I did my research. I said, okay. Sent it to my mom. Sent her video to my mom, my best friend. And I said, oh, okay. So I met her in person. She was just the whole, I hate to say energy, but it just clicked. So she said, you have a very extensive medical history and a lot of surgeries that you didn't have back to back to back to back. And I said, yeah, I've been going through stuff like this for a long time now. But she said, well, you have a very large tumor. It's about the size of a basketball in comparison. But what I need to know is there's different stages, or there's different whatever. I'm going to try to remember as best that I can. So she said it can be filled with a lot of fluid, or it could be solid, but we just don't know until we get our hands on it. And I thought I was going in for a biopsy, but she didn't do the biopsy. So she said, it's just hard to tell, but it's green, yellow, and red light. I would say you are in the yellow, 1 foot in green and 1 foot in yellow. Oh, 1 foot in yellow, 1 foot in green, 1 foot in yellow, I think she said. And that's because of the size of it. It's very, very large. So I'm like, okay. And my husband was there with me, and my husband had asked more questions than I asked, because I'm still just, when you're actually that person, you got stuff going on in your head and questions that you can ask, but I just want to know that I'm going to be okay. And of course you don't know, or they can't tell you're going to be okay right there, because there's still more information they need. So my husband just kept saying, well, if y'all do this surgery, how are we sure that this won't happen again? And so she said, we're not sure. And one thing we want to do is keep her ovaries, because her ovaries is good for. It's good for her heart. It's good for her bones. It's good for longevity. So we want to keep those ovaries as much as possible. But when we operate, we're going to take this mass, this tumor, this thing, and whatever it is, while we're still in the operating room, we're going to send it to pathology. And pathology is going to even tell us if it's benign or if it's cancerous. If it's benign, stitch you back up. If it's full of fluid, we'll just drain the fluid out, send you on your merry way. If it's cancerous, then we would take out what we need to take out, and then we would start treatment and go and see what's the perfect plan for you. So I said, okay. She said, but I see from your last from your last surgery, which was a hysterectomy, your intestines and stuff just gets all mushed up and your insides is just really funky. So I'm hoping that we don't have to deal too much with your intestines. But when surgery happens, I would like a gastro doctor to be in the room. Fair enough. That's cool. So she said there's also a big possibility. What I'm thinking is you have a lot of tissue, scar tissue and stuff that's just forming up and making these nasty masses or whatever. And by it being so big, it's just pressing up on everything. And it's causing you a lot of pain and discomfort. But also, if it is cancer, with ovarian cancer, there's usually no symptoms until it's, at stage 3. No symptoms in the beginning, or sometimes there's no symptoms at all. And then randomly you'll have a symptom and you're like, I was just normal. So I said, yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like I was just living my best life. I was just doing deliveries. I was just so happy. Everything was going perfect. And then boom, my life, I can't walk. It hurts to pee. It hurts to poop. It hurts to laugh. It hurts to turn. It hurts to bathe. It hurts to get up. I damn sure enough can't have no damn sex. So I'm just I'm miserable. And I became miserable so quickly. It was like no signs, like a little thing here, a little thing there. I was having crazy heartburn, like heartburn out of this world. But I thought that was from my past surgery. So she said, but I can't guarantee you this won't happen again, especially because you still have your ovaries. And I said, well, take them ovaries. And I don't know why Dr. Benson didn't take them ovaries. She said, because you need your ovaries. And you don't want to go into premenopause. And I'm like, okay. And so she said, while we in there, we can take a peek at the other side to see what's going on. So I said, okay. Fair enough. So I left there feeling a little bit more hope. I feel a little bit better. And I canceled my orders. I didn't go back to work. And every day, I was still showing up for myself, for my family. Just kept having faith. Just kept saying, I'm going to be okay. It's going to be a journey. And I understand it's going to be a journey, but I'm going to be okay. That Friday, I want to say, was worship night. Well, Catalyst at church. And Jador, my stepdaughter, was staying with us because her mom had just had surgery. And it was Catalyst. And Catalyst was amazing. And I remember just crying out to God, watching Catalyst in the basement, in pain and awe, with just a heavy heart, just crying out. Just thanking God in advance for what he's about to do in my life. But also at the same time, being content with whatever is going to happen. And I had the girls and I said, y'all praise God too. And I told you, don't pray for your mom. And we're going to pray for your mom together. And we're just praying. And they're crying and I'm crying. And I'm just like, I'm leaving it all in Jesus' hands. And I thank you for my healing now. And I'm just leaving it right here. So that following week, I had to go back to the doctors. I had to go get blood work. After I seen her, they got blood work the same day. Following week, I had to go back to the doctors. So, and to say that the thought never came back across my mind, even though I had these appointments, will be a lie. I still had some type of in my in the bottom of my stomach. And I joined the prayer group, 2 prayer groups at church. And I didn't want to tell them at first, but I let them know what was going on, and they was praying for me. And so I went, the oncology doctor, Dr. Tunich, had emailed me and said, your blood work is looking good. Your biomarkers is looking great. Biomarkers is what we use to measure the presence of cancer cells in the blood or whatever, or in your system or whatever. So I'm like, yes. But she said, but we still have to have surgery and get that thing out of there to actually see what's going on. Your blood can say your blood work can say one thing, it'll be something else. But we are looking good. I'm like, yes. That following week, I go see her again, check in. She's like, well, we can have that Monday, she said, we can have surgery this Thursday. I usually don't do surgery on Thursdays. It's usually doctor's appointments Thursday, surgeries on Friday. So I'm like, okay. But surgery won't be until 5 o'clock. I didn't care what time surgery was. I just wanted to get this process started, get my answers, and go on my life. So they set me up. They had me going back and forth with her assistant, whatever, they set me up. I'm like, yes. Things is moving along pretty quickly. I also had to do a follow-up with my primary care doctor because my insurance requires me to have a follow-up with my primary care doctor after I get dismissed from after I get discharged from the emergency room. And rewind, y'all. When I had my first appointment, they try to fake turn me away and say I needed a referral. I said, oh, no, you're not, baby. I done came way too far for it to go back home and try to reschedule this visit. I don't know if you could get somebody on the phone. You can email it. So I emailed her my insurance card. I don't know what she did. But she said, Miss Week, she could go ahead and be seen. And me and my family was the only people in that doctor's office. So anyways, I also had to do an appointment with my primary care doctor. So I went to my primary care doctor. My primary care doctor was just so ecstatic. I'm so happy you're having this done. Listen to me, you're making the right decision. You're going to a great facility. I'm just so go through with it. You have my 100% approval. Do it. So I'm like, yes. Her assistant hits me back and say, I'm sorry, but she can't do surgery for you this week. It's too late. And she wants a gastro doctor available. At 5 o'clock, all the doctors will be leaving, pretty much. And she would prefer a gastro doctor there early in the morning that's ready to go, not somebody that's trying to get home to their family. Crushed. I am crushed. And once again, I'm thinking, we don't know what this is inside my body. And every day, every second, every moment, something could be spreading or getting worse. So I said, well, what about Friday? They was like, no. The OR is already booked. So she said we could either do March 8th or March 28th. I said, baby, I can't do March 28th. I don't know how long y'all want me on these pain pills. I don't know how long I can sit and wait with this going on, but I can't do March 28th. So she said, well, we're going to put in for March 8th. We don't know if it's going to get approved by the OR, but we're just going to put it in. I'm praying, but I'm still showing up for myself, still praying, still thanking God for the blessings, not trying to be down about none of the whole situation. Enjoying my family, just taking them one day at a time. But she came back and said, well, we got March 8th approved. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. March 8th, we have the surgery. March 8th, we go in for surgery. And the doctor just kept trying to get some urine from me. And I'm just like, baby, I don't have no urine to give you. I can give you a good bowel movement right now. So she's like, yeah, we do need you to empty your bowels, but I really need you to get some urine. So I said, well, may I ask why you need my urine? She said, because we just got to make sure you're not pregnant. I said, oh, baby, ain't no... I can let you know right now I'm not pregnant. Well, she said, could you be sure? I said, because I had a hysterectomy. If you look at my chart, baby girl had a hysterectomy. So she said, well, when was your last period? I said, like 2021 was my last period. But she said, oh, yeah, well, I said, yeah, baby. But they still wanted me to empty my bowels. So I used the bathroom. And so many doctors coming in there. You know, like 20,000 doctors have to come in there, and residents have to come in there to introduce themselves. So I had to sign this one paper that basically said, if we go and see anything else extra, I'm okay with them doing what they have to do, pretty much. So she came in and she said, because images lie. So Dr. Tunish said, because images lie, just in case something. So I signed the paper. And basically the paper said, I'm agreeing to them to remove the tumor, and if something's going on, and send it to pathology. If something else is going on, they can take my ovaries. I said, okay. Even though she don't want to, I'm going into surgery, and y'all, I go, before surgery, I said, can I request a song? And they was like, yeah, we can ask the people in OR. I said, okay. I'm sorry. I said, okay, because last time I had surgery, I requested a song. So they said, do you have a song in mind? So I said, yeah. So I told them a Maverick City music song that I wanted them to play. Yeah. They wheeled me into the OR room. And there was a girl sitting at a table, like the DJ, the OR DJ that was on the music. They had, girl, shake that Laffy Taffy. I said, oh my God, don't have no Laffy Taffy song playing up in here in this OR room. I said, oh, y'all trying to get lit before surgery. I said, So the doctor said, well, one of the doctors was like, well, she said, can she request a song? So I told them what song I wanted to request. So they act like they couldn't find it. And I said, in the name of Jesus, we're going to find that song. So they found the song or whatever. And y'all, 1 second. Hello?
Yeah.
Hey.
I done did everything I can think of I need to do. Kind of put some stuff together in the van.
Okay.
So I just bought this strap. I was able to fix the windshield wiper, fix that. Got me some caps for my little stuff that means something.
Sorry, y'all. I guess he was missing me. So when they had me on the bed, after they put my music on, only one girl was like, oh, I know Maverick City music, blah, blah, blah. So before I closed my eyes and they put that mask on my face to put me to sleep, I said, do anybody love Jesus, or is anybody a follower of Christ, something like that? Then nobody say nothing. I said, yeah, okay, let me see me extra prayer. And then there was this one doctor, he had these big eyes. And all I seen was his big eyes looking at me. He looking at me, I'm looking at him like, do you love the Lord? So nobody didn't say nothing. So I was like, good night. And they all want to say good night. So I said, I know, but I said good night. Y'all heard that? Y'all heard me ask about, do y'all love Jesus? I love God. What's wrong with you? But anyway, so I come out of surgery, y'all. It went well or whatever. And I'm in recovery. Amazing recovery doctors. And they gave me the tap medication. So I'm tapping it. And at this point, I'm talking to them like they're my homegirls, my homeboys. We talking about the Ugly Cake Factory, talking about my family. Next thing you know, I pee on myself because I'm thinking I still had a catheter in. They told me they was gonna put a catheter in. I'm thinking I still got the catheter in. Child, I didn't pee. They had like the little drawers on me. I didn't pee on myself in the bed. So, and you notice that they put that little pad underneath you. So the nurse had to came. She was so sweet. She came, flipped me on my side, cleaned me up real good, try to put a pad underneath me, and just. So that was that. They rolled me to some surgery was like 4 or 5 hours. They started at 11:30. When I woke up, it was like 6:30. So whatever that time frame is. And I was like 6:30. I was a little irritated because I'm like, why was surgery so? I'm always irritated when I wake up from surgery for whatever reason. God work on me with that. But I was a little irritated because I'm like, why was surgery so long? Like, is that something y'all need to tell me? One. And then two, that means all my folks probably gone. Why was surgery so long? So I get to my room. I was in 6 Bless. Six Bless is a big unit, and I understand it's a lot of patients or whatever, but I feel like I didn't get the optimum, like, they were just a little rough and tough. And then transporter guy, he was just a transporter. So once we got on the floor, my nurse was, my tech was Coney, like Coney Island. That's what she said. And my nurse was Paul. So the tech was like, Coney, y'all person here, I can't put her in the bed or what, I can't transport her. I mean, I'm just a transport. I can't live forever, whatever. So Coney was like, oh, one second. Mind you, Coney's shift is from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I got her surgery at 6:30, so she was just hitting the floor, trying to get everything. She was like, Paul is right there, let me get... But Paul was on his phone. But I said, can you go get Paul? Because I need to talk to him. So the transporter went and got Paul. So when Paul came, Paul was like, hi, Miss Weeks. You need me? Or you called me? I said, yes, Paul. Coney needs your help. The transporter has to go. And they were trying to get your help, but you was on your phone. Coney needs your help. So he was like, I'm sorry. I'm here now, Miss Weeks. I'm here now. Paul about broke my nerves those 4 to 5 days. We established some type of understanding towards the end. We got along towards the end, but after he told me his story, you know, everybody got a story. He told me his story about how he left his family back at home. He was from Africa and he's here working. He got kids or whatever. He was showing me his pictures, but I was like, Paul, we got to be efficient. Like, I don't want to be here just as much as you probably don't want to be here, but let's not be right. I told you I'm a hard stick. So, honey child, they got 1,000 little sticks in me, and I had to tell Paul, gently press that flesh in me, because you trying to press it all fast, that's gonna hurt. Take your time, Paul. So I go through this too much to try to play games with these people. But Coney, she was really good. So I had to keep telling these people I don't want Oxy. Like, they was pushing out Oxy on me like it was no other. Okay? I kept telling them, no Oxy, no Oxy, no Oxy. No ibuprofen, no ibuprofen, no ibuprofen. So my mom was like, well, they had to take your left ovary actually and the tumor, but everything came back benign. I was like, hey. So I was so happy about that, but I was just confused. I was just like, but why did the imaging say the right side? Why was I having all the pain on the right side? So when the doctor came in, they explained that, you know, because the way it was just pushing up everything on the right side. Whatever. But I was just so happy about those results. So happy, y'all. So I was in there for about 4 to 5 days. I can't remember. And then they discharged me and sent me home. You know, my husband came to see me, was helping me out or whatever. It was cool. Like I said, 6 blessed because it's a busy unit. It was what it was. I come home, y'all. 2 days after I come home, my stomach, I'm asleep. No, let's rewind. I'm jumping the gun. My stomach's a little swollen, okay? My grandma and my aunt come over because I was like, y'all gonna come over? So they came over and it's looking swollen. It was just in so much pain. And earlier that day, I had took a shower. And I had to go get my medicine. Y'all, my grandma was like, wrap something around your stomach to hold your stomach up or whatever. So I wrapped a sheet around my stomach. I went to go lay down on the couch, honey. And when I woke up, it was like cereal milk because I had a bowl of cereal before I went to sleep. And I was like, I know cereal milk ain't leaking out my goddamn stomach. So I'm like, Charlie, babe, both of these knuckleheads said, call me if you need me. But when they sleep like bears. So I'm like, Charlie, babe. And at this point, I'm in so much pain that I know I can't sit up. I know I'm not riding to an hour to Georgetown Hospital. I know So Hurry wakes up and Hurry look like he's irritated. And Lord, I'm just like, so I'm like, Hurry, you see this? First I sent him a picture and that's when he got up. And I'm like, I'm leaking fluid and it's all over my sheet. So I called my mom. I'm telling her, we're gonna have to call 911. So I called my mom looking at it. She Googling it. And when I called, she's like, oh my God. I came downstairs. She's Googling and I'm looking, I'm just like, what in the world? In my head, I'm like, am I about to die? Am I about to die? I'm getting an infection in my blood. What is going on? And I get a hole in my stomach. Like, how did this happen? The ambulance came. Soon as homegirl came in, she was like, oh, you just had a C-section. With her hood on her head. No supplies or nothing. So I was like, no. I just had surgery to have my ovary removed and the tumor, blah, 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 blah. So they're like, oh, it looks fine. Just go get you some iodine. Iodine is good for it. Clean it up real good. It looks fine. So she's like, it don't have no, she's like, do I have a smell? I was like, yeah. She was like, well, I'm not trying to be, but have you taken a shower since you had surgery? I was like, yeah, I just took a shower today. So she was like, well, it looks fine. You should be good or whatever, but it's up to you. But, you know, you should. So I'm like, Mom, what you think? Mom, my mother was like, well, it's just like a little pinhole. I think you should be good. So I was like, well, my sister-in-law was supposed to have came over that day, but they switched it to Saturday. God is good, okay? I think about that all the time. God is good. They switched it to Saturday. My sister-in-law is coming. She's a nurse. My mom was like, text her and see if she could stop for the iodine. So I had texted her, sent her pictures, and all she said was, okay, make sure you clean it well or something. But from her text messages, I didn't feel too comfortable. Because I'm like, Mel, I don't know. I think Mel might want to see it. Or I don't know. So I wound up texting her back saying, never mind, my mom is going to go get it. So my mom came back with some Depends, some puppy pads, some gloves, some iodine, some wound care. She came back with the works. So Mel came, and her and Mel is just cleaning me up, getting me nice and clean. Mel was like, at this point, I'm dripping all over the place. Okay? Dripping all over the place. So Mel cleaning, she's like, you know, this is going to make it worse by you dripping like this, and you got to keep it clean, and it's going to leak fluid, or it's going to, you know, drain. Are you on antibiotics? I was like, no, but Paul kept asking me that they give me the antibiotics. And when I asked the nurse about the antibiotics, they act like I need it. And rewind, me and the nurse was going back and forth about the oxy and how the daggone nurse waited till it was time for her to leave and try to find me some pain pills. So I waited 45 minutes without no pain pills. And the director tried to come in there and take up for her, and they're going to try to leave her with this, oh, and don't forget, only 2 visitors at a time. I said, well, baby, how did the visitors get past y'all? I didn't know they was coming up here, 1, and 2, why y'all not? They've been up here for pretty much 2 hours now. It was Hurry, my sister-in-law, my brother. I said, well, how they get past y'all? Don't they gotta check in with y'all? Like, I don't know what's going on. Fast forward. So my mom does Mel hair. Before Mel leave, Mel looks at it, and at this point, it's oozing out. And Mel's like, I don't like how this looks. So I'm like, oh Lord. So Mel wiped some of it up, and on a napkin, and then showed it to me. Y'all, I almost passed out. I was like, oh my God. So he was like, calm down. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, why, Lord, why? So she said, call your doctor, or try to go to a med-star urgent care or something. So I said, well, when I try to go to urgent care, I try to go to urgent care to the patient first. Patient first said if you have surgery, you gotta go back to the surgeon that did. Mind you, I already sent pictures to my surgeon, but she went on here and skipped town, went out of town, so she is nowhere to be found. She's not getting my messages. I called Georgetown. Georgetown said, come on in. Sound like you might have an infection. We cleaned up, went to Georgetown. I don't even want to talk about the Georgetown emergency room. It was horrible. Okay? We was in there, we waited from 1 p.m. and then get seen until 11 p.m. So my sister-in-law was like, y'all need, in the midst of all that, my sister-in-law was like, y'all need to go knock on the door and tell them that her dressing needs to be changed. So mom went to go let them know that my dressing needed to be changed. They wasn't trying to listen to my mother. But you know, mama don't play that. So he comes over and he was like, can I see your dressing or whatever? In the lobby. So I was like, I don't got no drawers on. Can you step back? So he was like, no problem. So I lifted up. So he said, okay, well, we're going to get you to the back and change your dressing. So when he changed my dress, he said, oh, wow. My dress had just a paper towel right there, y'all. So he like, oh, wow. So I'm thinking once you see that, you're going to see that I need to get to the back. But no, they sent me back to the lobby. Mind you, was an old man that was in the lobby with drains hanging from him. His family was crying. They trying to get some help. They didn't help. He got blood on the seat. I don't even want to. Oh, that was just horrible. So a nurse came out around 7 o'clock and was like, hello, it's a 10-hour wait period. We don't have time to address individual concerns. We're switching shifts over. And nobody wants to hear that after they've been sitting here already for 10 hours. There was a man that was there at 9:30 and still didn't get seen. They take me to the back. I had to use the bathroom. When I went to the bathroom, at this point, I had touched like the bottom of it, and it was thick cottage cheese, like pus coming out. So I said, Lord, I already know. It's bad. It's bad. It ain't liquidy no more. It's bad. The nurse came in there, and she, her name was Lauren. Lauren was great. She basically said, I'm going to have to readmit you. We're going to have to open this up. You have a bad infection, and we're going to have to get this out. 1 second. Hurry is calling. Hello? Sorry, y'all. One thing about Hurry, he's going to call every 5 seconds. But, so she said, we're going to have to readmit you, open you back up, clean this out, and get you together. So I was like, what? Are you kidding me? So she's like, yeah, you have a bad infection. It's such and such deep. So I was heartbroken again, y'all. And I said, you know, I'm going to stop fighting God. I'm going to stop fighting God. They just got to do what they got to do. So she came and I said, I'm going to need some drugs. So she gave me the highest dose of morphine times 2. Okay? Because when she gave me that morphine, I was paralyzed. It felt like all I could do is just tears coming out of my eyes I can't control. I just want to squeeze something. I'm trying to squeeze the rail of the bed. So it got to the point where she flushed me out and all that. It got to the point where she had to stuff it. I'm getting weak thinking about it. She had to stuff it with gauze. I felt almost every bit of it. It hurt so bad. We had to keep taking breaks. It felt like 1,000 little needles was sticking in me. It was the worst part. The worst part. But Lauren was so amazing through it all. So they took me to 4 East. Child, 4 East wasn't on the new side of the hospital. It looked like a little psych ward a little bit. But the staff on 4 East was nice to good, gentle, write me down when I came in there. Like, it was like a breath of fresh air. So I wound up staying in the hospital that time around for another 4 days. This bad infection. They had to cut the stitches open or whatever, clean me out, stuff the gauze back in. And if I could show y'all the video, I would. Just from me seeing the video, I was just like, I didn't know it was that bad. So I had Dr. Dancy, and he was a trip, y'all. I left him. He was great, but he tricked me because he made me do the second round of the gall stuffing because I had to do two a day without no pain medicine. He was telling me to squeeze his arm and you got this and talking to me and afterwards they had the morphine, the nurse with the morphine. She was like, you did so good, and do you want the morphine? I'm like, heck yeah. So I asked her, well, how did this happen, Dr. Dancy? He said, it just happens. This happens with surgery. It's on a bad part of your body, it's on your fatty stomach, and sometimes we have a fattier stomach and it just happens, and the Lord didn't make for us to have our stomach all cut up and messed with. So he asked to speak to my mom. He spoke to my mom, explained to my mom everything that's going on. So they said, well, once we release you, will you have somebody to do this for you? I was like, it's going to have to be my mom. We know a big dog can't handle it. And when I say my mom has been handling this like a pro, I thank God for my mother. During this time, my father was coming to the hospital every day, bringing me snacks and stuff, sitting with me. My brother has calling me. My husband's been there, but my mom, I just pray that God blesses my mom with all the desires of her heart, because I don't know what I would do without my mom during this time. I don't know what I would do without my mom. And I just sit back and think about stuff and how, like, we've been trying to move, and I'm just thinking about how this put a damper in us moving, how to just switch everything up for us. And I'm just like, if I didn't live here, I still had this patch on my stomach right now, because when she come home, she's going to take care of me and patch me all up. And I'm going to put a clip of, not of what it looks like, because it might be too much for y'all and a little inappropriate, but just the steps that she had to take, or she has to take, to ensure that I can get better and that I don't go back. And she has not left my side not one time. Even though Charlie tried to help mommy out so much. But oh my gosh, God, I thank you so much for my mom, Lord. I thank you that I have a mom that has just stuck by me through this all, that has just been brave enough to take care of me and to help me, even when I first found out the news, God. And you have placed amazing people around me, but my mom, I thank you for my mom. I thank you for my mom. I thank you for my mom just taking off of work. I thank you for God blessing my husband to be able to hold us down, because I remember after the ambulance left, I just cried because I just felt like a burden. Like, I felt like a burden on my family. Although her was like, you're not a burden to me. And I know my mom don't feel like I'm a burden, but I just feel like, but I also thank God that this is just temporary, and that I don't have cancer, and that this infection will go away, and that I will be better, and that I got my arms, my legs, and I can move around. But I can tell you one thing, y'all, I can't wait to be able to take a nice good old shower and soak in the tub. My mom wrapped up my stomach when I got to take a shower. And so after I came home, I had to make an appointment with wound care. I went to wound care, and wound care was like, your mom is on a phenomenal job of cleaning your wound or whatnot. I want to see you back in 3 weeks. But he was like, you looking so good, I almost want to send you to the OR room and start getting you stitched up and cut out. And I'm like, huh? OR room? I said, oh baby, I'm not trying to go back to that OR room. I don't want to have another surgery. I don't want to go through another. He said, well, we'll talk about it in 3 weeks. But we would have to close you back up. You are still such and such amount of centimeters wide and deep, and I still got the numbers on my stomach from when they had to measure me, because I can't really shower. Like, when I was in the hospital, I had the nurses there to help me, and they had put this big clear thing around me, we using saran wrap, and you know I can't really do that, and I'm not trying to risk it, so I'm taking like bird baths and stuff like that. So after I met with wound care, I met with the surgeon the day after, and I'm telling her like my baby birthday coming up, and you know, and she's like, well, I can help speed the process up or whatever. And I was like, well, how do you feel about me going on a cruise in June? She was like, I love that idea. You can go on your cruise. So she did something to me, put something on me or whatever. It hurt so bad, so bad. And the doctor told me to stop using the Bosch solution, which is the solution to help heal me, and make a vinegar concoction, because the Bosch solution is very strong and it smells like chlorine. So my mom made the vinegar concoction for me, and she's just so amazing. She just so amazing. She made this vinegar concoction for me and just been so gentle, so patient with me. And so yeah, I was saying that if I would have moved out, because God already knew this was going to all happen, how would I have been taken care of? I'm pretty sure she probably would have came over to the house, or it would have been just too much. I would have tried to figure it out on my own, and I probably would have ended up back in the hospital. But God said, just hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute, because what you about to go through ain't for you. It's for so many other people. And I know you want to make these moves, and I know you want to do this, but it's another season I need you to go through. And after you come out that season, you'll become so much stronger. Because through it all, y'all, I was reading the book of Mark. And I was just like, God, the way you are healing people in the beginning of this book, I know you can do it for me. I know you would do it for me. I know you can. So I'm declaring the healing that you have over these people in this book, you're going to have over my life, Lord. And I just had to keep telling myself, this might not be for me, this is for somebody else. And everything that I be going through, everything that I experience in life is a testimony, not just of me, but of how God has worked in my life, how God has placed these amazing people in my life, and how I've come across so many amazing people by just my journey. If I could just touch anybody else or encourage somebody else or whatever the situation may be, I feel like I've been through so much. Whatever you could think of, I've been through, and I made it on the other side, and I'm okay. And I just thank God so much. I thank God so much. Not just what He has done in my life, but who He is in my life. And I don't know what else to say, y'all. I was so scared of not being able to work during this time, and like, how my family gonna survive? We used to a 2-house income. We just started back walking and rolling, and now I'm out again. But God has made it a way that my husband is still able to go out, and we have not needed or want for anything. I thought I was gonna have cancer. I don't have no cancer in my body. I don't have no cancer in my body. I got an infection, and I didn't know what was gonna happen, but I'm still here. I'm still here. My mom is helping me, and my daughter still have her mom. My husband still have his wife, and my mom still have her daughter. I'm tired of coming on here crying for y'all. Tired of crying, but these are tears of just overcoming and joy. And I just pray that y'all can experience God the way I have experienced Him. And I pray that God just keep walking with y'all and don't give up. I just want to say, just don't give up. And you might not understand why it's a no now, and why it will be a yes in the future. But God is working it all out. And you might not understand why you got to be set down for a while. But I'm going to tell you one thing, and I'm going to let y'all go. I look at life so much differently after going through all of this. I'm no longer going to work myself to the bone because I'm scared I'm going to be broke. I'm no longer going to just be out here like I'll get to the doctors when I can. Because this very well could have been caught before now, but God made it fit for now. But I want to stay on top of my health. Because like my mom always said, you know good when you're gone. I'm not going to just keep feeling like I gotta chase this, I gotta chase this, I gotta chase this, I gotta chase this. I'll wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock in the morning and I will bake. And then I will run to Starbucks. And after Starbucks, I wanted to go do a delivery. And after I do the delivery, I wanted to go pick up my daughter. And after I go pick up my daughter, I wanted to come home and to try to cook some dinner. Okay? And then after I cook some dinner, I'm trying to spend some time with my husband. And then I'm trying to wake up the next day. And I remember being in the basement, like, cussing my husband out because I'm like, I'm up here baking. And can you get up and help me bake? Because I got to be to work in 2 hours. And I'm going to be in work after, I get up to go to work in 2 hours. I got to be at work for at least 6 hours. And after 6 hours, I got to come home and deliver these cupcakes. And I got to do this, and I got to do this, and I got to do this, and I got to do this. I'm not going to live my life like that. I'm going to leave it at the foot of Jesus. I'm telling you, I'm not going to live my life like that. I'm going to have some balance in my life. Okay? I'm not. Do not kill yourself. I'm not going to keep stressing myself out, worrying about things that I have no control over. Okay? I'm going to continue to do my part with 100% faith that God's going to do his part. I had a doctor's appointment today. My doctor said, why are you rushing your healing process? Don't rush it. No, you keep taking this time out for you. You listen to your body. You take time out for you. Because I posted on Instagram, I'm going to be back baking in 2 weeks. I'm going to be back baking in 2 weeks. Because I'm like, I got to make some money. I miss baking. I told my husband, I'm tired of sitting in the basement. I'm tired of just sitting on the couch. That's what I told my husband yesterday. And today, my doctor said, no, baby. Count this as a blessing. You just got brought out of this. And you trying to, didn't you just say you wasn't going to do that? No more. You just got brought out of this. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. So I'm doing things a little bit different, y'all. I'm going to end it here because I'm pretty sure this video is over an hour and some change. And I know you don't want to keep hearing me rap along. But Jesus loves you and he loves me too. And make sure he is ignited in your life. And you tell the world about Jesus. And be great. Be awesome.